Hello and welcome back. Today we shall start spherical polar coordinate system. So I will write down here. Okay, as we have seen in case of Cartesian coordinate system and in any coordinate system, we require at least 3 coordinates for getting the full information about the position of a particle or an object in the universe. So in a similar way, in case of a spherical polar coordinate system, we again need 3 coordinates. In case of Cartesian, we need x, y and z coordinates. Here we require r, theta and phi coordinates. So we shall clarify what is r, theta and phi in case of a spherical polar coordinate system. So for that purpose, first of all we have to consider a sphere whose radius is r. So I will draw a sphere, try to draw a sphere. So suppose that this is a sphere and its radius is nothing but r. So this is nothing but our z axis here. This is y axis. I will draw rather it smaller because we require a lot of space there. So this is our y axis. And this one is our x-axis. Now the radius of this, any point on the surface of this sphere will be say here capital P, and the radius of this sphere, that is r. If it is in the form of vector, we will write down in the r bar, but now I am considering this to be a distance, so I will write it as r. So this is one of the coordinate, radius of the sphere. Then the second coordinate we have to consider is nothing but theta. So if we consider a cone formed by this over here, that will make an angle theta over here. So I will draw that in a separate diagram to clarify it in a better way. So this is again our z axis. I will try to draw it parallel to this one only. This is our y axis. And this is z axis, and this is nothing but what? Our x axis. And this is our origin. So I will draw a cone here, say like this, a cone, same height should be there here, both sides. So this is a cone. And this cone sustained in an angle theta here. Okay. So this angle theta is there. And if I call this point as capital P, then this is our second coordinate, that is nothing but angle ZOP. Angle ZOP is our second coordinate. Then we have to consider the third coordinate. For that we have to consider a projection on the xy plane. So that I am going to draw it here. This is again our y axis. This is our z axis. And this is our x axis. And the point is somewhere here, I will consider to be somewhere here. This is point capital P. So I will draw a perpendicular. Remember, this x-axis is like this, okay, and therefore this xy plane will be like this. So I will draw a perpendicular from this point P. This point P may not be on the surface of the board. It may be like this. The point P may be here, if you can see. Okay. So I will draw a perpendicular from point P on what? XY plane. So this is first I will draw it here. This one. And then I will draw a perpendicular from this point here on this plane. Okay. This point we will call it as, say maybe Q, we can call it as Q. And this is of course our origin O. And then I will draw this O to Q. O to Q. Now of course here, so then we have to define this angle here. This angle is nothing but angle phi. So this angle XOQ is nothing but what? Phi. So if you want, you will write them in a capital letter, so that will look better, I think. X, Y, and this is our Z. This is again X, this is Y, and this is again Z, and this is Z, this is Y, and this one is nothing but X. Okay. So the first coordinate here is nothing but the radius of the sphere, that is nothing but OP. So the first coordinate is R is equal to OP. Then the second coordinate is, this is first coordinate. Then we have the second coordinate, that is nothing but theta. The second coordinate theta is nothing but this angle, angle ZOP, that is subtended by the cone. So I will call this as the second coordinate theta is equal to angle ZOP. And the third coordinate we have here is angle XOQ. So I will write down this third coordinate is phi, which is nothing but angle XOQ. So these are the three coordinates in spherical polar coordinate system. Now I will draw all these coordinates in a single figure. So for that purpose, I think I will draw it here. So I will just rub this part here. So for that purpose, what we will do is we will again consider this is our Z axis. Then this is our Y axis, capital Y, right? This is our small. And this is nothing but what? X axis. And this is our origin, of course. Okay. Now this point P is somewhere here, so we just draw a line from this to this. Okay, so rather this is point capital P, and then this radius of this point capital P, that is nothing but what? Our this first coordinate, radius. Okay, so this we have to consider it to be a sphere here. Imagine a sphere here. So I am not drawing the sphere of course here, but we have to consider that there is a sphere of radius r. Then the second coordinate is nothing but what? Theta. So that theta is over here. That is angle ZOP, that is the angle subtended by this cone is theta. And the third coordinate is nothing but what? This angle that we had there in that figure. So I will just draw perpendicular from this point again now. I will draw it to a dotted line. Remember, this will be like a mirror image of this here. Okay. So it will be somewhat, say this is there. So I'll just write, yeah. So it will be somewhere here. So this point I will call it as point capital Q. And remember, this is our xy plane. It is like this. Okay, because this x-axis is in this way. Therefore, from this point Q, we can draw the perpendicular. Now, first of all, we'll see what is phi then. So this was our theta, so that was also over. That is angle ZOP. And third coordinate is nothing but what? Angle phi. So this is angle phi that is shown in that figure. So here again, this is nothing but angle XOQ is nothing but what? Angle phi. Okay. Now I will draw the perpendicular from this point capital Q on y-axis as well as on x-axis. So on both these axes I will draw the perpendiculars. So remember, this angle is 90 degree. Of course, it doesn't look like 90, but it is a 90 degree because we have to consider that in a three-dimensional case. So I will call this as point capital M, and I will call this as point capital N. Okay. Now we shall consider what will be the transformation equations between Cartesian and spherical polar coordinate system. So I will write down here. Now we shall consider the transformation equations. So first thing we will consider the Cartesian coordinates in terms of spherical polar coordinates. So first I will consider Cartesian in terms of spherical polar. Cartesian coordinates in terms of spherical polar coordinates. So we know that our first Cartesian coordinate is nothing but what? X. Okay. And we have seen in our earlier discussion, this is our X. Because after drawing this perpendicular, this is our Y. This is our Y, because this much distance is nothing but what? Y coordinate. And this is our X. So similarly we have this is Y and this is X. And the Z coordinate is nothing but this one. We have to draw a perpendicular on what? Z axis. Then this distance O to this point is nothing but what? This distance is nothing but what? Our Z coordinate. This distance. Origin to that. Okay? So this is of course our Z coordinate. I will draw it slightly bigger so that it will be visible to our view. So this is our Z coordinate. Okay. Now, first of all, we shall consider all these coordinates, that is Cartesian in terms of what? Spherical polar coordinate system. So, 1 minute. This is actually somewhat mistaken here. So this is our X. Again, this is our X. This is Y, and here again we have Y. Okay. Sorry for this. Okay. So now we shall consider what will be our X coordinate. So for that purpose, we have to consider what is the triangle here, okay, 90-degree triangle, because this angle N as well as this angle M, both of them are nothing but for 90 degrees. Okay, so we may consider any of these two triangles. So I will consider this triangle OMQ for time being. So how this triangle will look like? This triangle, it will be like this. Okay. So this is our origin O. Then we have M. That is nothing but 90-degree angle here. And we have what here? Q is there, another coordinate. Then we know that this QM distance is nothing but what? X. Okay. And this OM distance is nothing but what? Y. Okay. Now again we have to find out what will be OQ now. Okay. So for finding OQ, that will be nothing but part of this triangle, is right? It will be a part of this triangle. Now remember, here we had drawn perpendicular on what? This. So this our angle Q is nothing but angle Q is nothing but it will be a 90-degree angle, is it right? Okay, it will be a 90-degree angle. Okay. So what will happen then? I will just try to draw that triangle here again now, so that you will get clear idea about all these things. So I will draw P. This is our P point. Then this is our O, and this is our Q. So Q is again 90 degrees. Okay. So this triangle will be like this. Okay. So it will be in this way. So okay. Now we know that these angles, this angle and this angle, okay, they will be, both of them will be nothing but what? Theta. There is some rule, I think they are adjacent angles, so that they are similar. So here what happens? This angle is theta. So if this angle is theta, then this angle has to be theta. So here again what will happen? Here this angle will be again what? Theta only. Okay, this is of course 90 degree angle. This is our O. Okay. Now, if you want to find out what will be this distance OQ, what will be this distance OQ from this triangle, then we can find out it in a easy way. Remember, this is nothing but R. Okay, this is nothing but R. Okay, so this distance OQ will be nothing but what? We have to consider opposite divided by hypotenuse. So that is nothing but for sine theta. So if I consider this sine theta, it will be nothing but opposite, that is OQ, divided by this hypotenuse is nothing but what? OPL, and we will write down this like this. So therefore what will happen? Our OQ is nothing but OP into sine of theta. That is nothing but OP is nothing but R. So therefore I will write down this as R into sine of theta. So here now, this OQ, this distance OQ is nothing but what? R sine theta. So this is R sine theta. Now from that we can find out what will be X now. So from this triangle now again, we have to see what will be this angle. See here, this angle is phi, so this will be 90 minus phi. So this angle QOM will be 90 minus phi. And therefore this angle Q has to be what? This angle OQM should be nothing but what? It should be phi. Okay? It should be phi. So from this, if we consider what will be the cos of phi. Okay, we have to consider this cos of phi here. So this is 90 minus phi, and therefore this is phi, because sum of these three angles should be 90 degree, should be 180 degree. This is of course 90, so this is phi, this is 90 minus phi. So 5 will get cancelled and 90 plus 90 will be 180 degrees. Okay, so this is again phi here now. So from here we can find out what will be cos of phi. So cos of phi is nothing but adjacent. So I will directly write down now here. That is what? X divided by R sine theta. And therefore we can say that our X is equal to, I will write down it here, X is equal to, so if I will take this on the other side, it will be nothing but R sine theta into cos of phi. Then we have second equation. Now we have to find out second one, that is nothing but y. So from this triangle again, if you consider sine of this angle phi, it will be nothing but OM, that is y, divided by OQ, that is R sine theta. So therefore our this y can be written like this. So this will come on this side again. So it will be R sine theta into sine of phi. R sine theta into sine phi. Now the third coordinate is z coordinate. For z coordinate, either we have to consider this triangle, or say, since we consider this to be z here, that's right, this to be z here. So this head and this one is drawn perpendicular here. So this distance z and this distance PQ, they are same. Okay. So this PQ distance is nothing but what? Our z coordinate. Because they are parallel to each other. So therefore this distance z and this is nothing but PQ. PQ is itself the z. Now from this triangle, that is this triangle PQO rather, we can find out what will be cos of theta. So if I find out cos of theta will be equal to PQ divided by OP. So that is nothing but Z divided by R. And this will give us Z is equal to R into cos of theta. So these are the three equations we have. This is our equation number 1, equation number 2 and equation number 3. So these three equations are very important. They will be required at so many places. So these three equations, they give Cartesian coordinates x, y and z in terms of r, theta and phi. Now we have to find out what will be r, theta and phi in terms of x, y and z. So for that purpose, I will write down here second part of this, that is spherical polar coordinates in terms of Cartesian coordinates. So first we have to find out what will be r. So to find out r, what we will do is we will square equation 1, square equation 2 and equation 3, and we will add all these three equations. So that is what is squaring equations 1, 2 and 3 and adding them. I will write down here squaring equations 1, 2, 3 and adding them. So if we do this, what will happen? It will be x square plus this will be y square. Left hand side I will first add and then we will add the right hand side. And the first one is for z square. On the right hand side it will be nothing but what? R square sin square theta cos square phi. Is it right? So sin square theta cos square phi plus the second one is r square sin square theta sin square phi. So r square sin square theta sin square phi, and plus the third one is r square cos square theta. Now if we consider this first two terms here, then r square sin square theta is a common in these two terms. So what we can do is we can take that common outside. So what will happen? X square plus y square plus z square will be equal to r square sin square theta will take common out of these first two terms. So what will remain inside bracket is sin square cos square phi plus sin square phi, and plus we have r square cos square theta. Now this is nothing but cos square phi plus sin square phi, and like you know that it is equal to what? 1. So what will remain here? It will be r square sin square theta into 1 plus r square cos square theta. So from these two terms, again we can take what now? R square common from this and this term. So what will remain inside is sin square theta plus cos square theta. And again sin square theta plus cos square theta is what? 1. So we get this r square as what? X square plus y square plus z square. So if you want to find out this r, which is nothing but this distance, it will be, I will write down it here because we don't have space here. I will just write down here. So this r is nothing but positive square root of x square plus y square plus z square. We have to take positive square root because distance is always positive. Now second thing is we have to find out what will be, say, phi. So to find out phi, what we will do is we will divide this equation number 2 with equation number 1. So equation number 2 divided by equation number 1. So what we will get here, on the right hand side we will get y divided by x is equal to r sin theta sin phi, r sin theta sin of phi, and in the denominator it will be r sin theta cos of phi. Cos of phi. So this is further equal to r sin theta. In the numerator and denominator will get cancelled here. This two. And it will be nothing but what? Tan of phi. And therefore from this we will get this tan of phi is equal to y divided by x. Therefore this phi is equal to tan inverse of y divided by x. So this is our next coordinate here. Now to find out third coordinate, that is nothing but theta. What we have to do is we have to just take this r on the other side. Okay. So from equation number 3 it is straight away. From equation number 3, what we can do is cos of theta will be z divided by r. Cos of theta is equal to z divided by r. So this implies our theta is equal to cos of inverse of what? Z divided by r. Cos inverse of what? Z divided by r. Okay. So thus we get all the three coordinates r here, then theta is here and phi is here. I will write down them here 1 below 1. So this is our theta is equal to cos inverse of z divided by r. Then we have phi is equal to tan inverse of y divided by x. Okay, now ideally x, y and z coordinate they can go from 0 to infinity. Okay, now here what will be the range in which these coordinates will be? So r is nothing but what we have seen is radius of the sphere. So ideally we can have a radius to be 0. If there is no sphere present, then radius is 0 of course, and then it can go up to infinity. But it is in the positive side, not in the negative side. So therefore we can say that what? This radius will be 0 less equal r and it is less than infinity. The second thing is nothing but cos of theta. Now we have seen this theta is angle subtended with z axis and what is point P. So if we consider the negative z axis here again, so what will happen here? This cone can be like this, it can become flat like this, and it can go on the other side also. Okay, and it can go up to this negative side also. Okay, so that means what this theta can go from this point, it can start from this and it can at the most it can go up to what? This. So therefore there is a limit, therefore this range for this theta will be nothing but what? It will be 0 here if it is along this, and if it is along the negative direction of z axis, it will be phi. So therefore theta will go from 0 to phi. So this is 0 less equal theta less equal phi. That is phi same thing as 180 degree. Then we have the third coordinate, that is phi. So phi ideally it can go with x axis. So we can go around like this. It can go around like this. Okay. So phi we can go from x this direction, we can move like this in the anti-clockwise way, and we can come up toward this x axis. So that means this phi can have 0 to 360 degree. Okay, so that is nothing but on this we have 0 less equal this phi less equal 360 means what? 2 pi. Rather if I can write down this as a less than, because again if it's a 2 pi then again it is 0. Okay, so this is what we have the spherical polar coordinates in terms of Cartesian coordinate system. So we shall stop there for today. Thank you very much for patient listening, and the next article we shall continue in our next lecture. Thank you.